Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing? I'm so excited to see you back here again. Almost as excited as I am to play with the toy that I'm playing with today. Today I'm getting my hands on the brand new Canon EOS 1DX Mark III. Now I know everyone is super excited about this camera. I am more excited than words can actually say. And fortunately today I'm going to get my hands on it. Not for long. I've only got it for an hour or three just to mess around with it. So what I've done is I've organized with my mate Johan. He's over there. He is pumping up the wheels on his mountain bike, and we're going to go throw him down some mountains and either kill him or see how good this camera is. We'll see whichever comes first, but hey, it's going to be a fun day. Let's go play with the camera. Okay, so a quick little vlogging test with this 1DX Mark III beastie. I left my little gimbal thing in the car, so hand holding it, but just wanted to give you a rough idea of what the video and audio quality is like out of the camera. Obviously, I'm going to get this camera back in a couple of weeks' time once all the fuss is over and I can do a full, proper, in-depth review on it. But so far, man, this thing is insanely quick. Now, I'm going to go into all the specs when I get back into the studio because I'm just having way too much freaking fun out here shooting with the actual camera. I've only got about another 15-20 minutes left before I've got to give it back, so I'm going to concentrate on just shooting some stuff. And yeah, first impressions, oh my god. This camera is full beast mode engaged. To say that I'm impressed with the brand new 1DX Mark III, well, that would be a little bit of an understatement. This is one hell of a camera, and Canon have not only nailed it now, they've nailed it for the future as well. And I'll explain that bit a little bit later in this video. Now, unfortunately, I only had 1 hour, just over an hour with this camera, and the last minute arrangements meant that the lighting and the venue weren't exactly great, but no excuses. Let's have a look at some of the pictures that I shot and a few pictures from someone else. I managed to get some pictures from, someone who's had it for a little bit longer than me and shot some images. I'll show you some of those images as well. And after that, we'll dive into all the changes and the new specs that make this the best damn camera in the market today. It has a brand new 35mm full frame 20.1 megapixel CMOS sensor. Canon say that this results in noise reduction in dark portions of the image, even at high ISO speeds, and increased sensitivity that contributes to the 1DX's high-speed image capture rate, accelerating the frame-to-frame performance. The new sensor also includes dual pixel AF, and we all know that dual pixel AF is pretty much the best out there. This is for autofocus during live view, stills, and during movie recording. The newly developed 4-layer low-pass filter provides 16-point separation, and this is not only there to help suppress moire and color distortion, but it also improves resolution. And I'm fairly certain that when the DxO Mark test comes out on this camera, there's going to be a few people that are going, whoa, I can't believe that. Mark my words on that one. The 1DX3 now has 2 processors, the first of which is the new Digic X image processor, which replaces the 2 Digic 6 Plus processors in the Mark II. The new sensor will help enhance fine detail from the added low-pass filter. It also has a Digic 8 processor, and the only job of the Digic 8 is to handle the light metering and the autofocus. Now, I'm going to let that sink in just for a couple of seconds. The processor that runs the whole EOS R is just responsible for light metering and the autofocus on the camera. That is insane. Now, the ISO range of 100 to 102, 4000 is expandable from 50,000 to 819,000 or something insane like that. I don't think any of us will ever push our cameras that far. I'm just happy to see that, I can get down to 50 ISO, and that is really, really cool. The new 191-point AF system is capable of tracking the subject's head and face using a deep learning technology. So what Canon have done here is to pre-program a whole whack of different images into the camera. So the camera starts to understand what it is that you're trying to photograph, and it's able to identify the head and body of your subject and lock focus onto it where it is needed. It even offers the added benefit of eye detection autofocus in live view mode or while shooting video. One of the coolest new changes for me is the new autofocus button on the back, which not only gives you autofocus, it is a kind of a little touchpad, dial pad thing, similar to the EOS R where you had the touch bar, which wasn't great. But this little dial pad enables you to kind of just move your finger slightly and move your focusing points up, down, left and right. And it is so quick. It is actually unbelievable. This time they nailed it. It's not the EOS R, this is something freaking amazing. Now, I hope this moves across to the new mirrorless R cameras that we will most probably see, a little bit later this year. The 1DX3's fast and intelligent dual pixel CMOS AF system features an incredible 3,869 manually selectable AF positions throughout approximately 90% by 100% of the image plane. Now, I don't really have much more to say about this because there's no doubt in my mind that DPAF is without a doubt the best autofocusing system on the market today. But when you combine that with all the new tweaks in the 1DX3, I think it's going to be untouchable for years to come. 16 frames a second. Let that sink in. 16 frames every single second. And it can do it until your memory cards are full. It won't stop for a cup of tea. It won't stop for a smoke break. It will fill your memory card to the tippy top at 16 frames a second. And that is not all. It gives you 20 frames per second in live view with AF and AE tracking, both in selectable electronic silent shutter mode and with mechanical shutter. Yes, you lose the viewfinder when the mirror is locked up, but holy hell, 20 frames a second. I think what we're seeing here is the tip of the iceberg. Combine that with what Canon are doing over on the mirrorless side, and you can start to get an idea of what they have planned for the future. Now, Sony and Nikon, beware, because most people, they don't see the iceberg until it is too late. And I fear it may be too late. Jared Poland must be smiling because someone finally listened to him, as the 1DX3 has dual CFexpress card slots, and they can capture a maximum burst rate of 1,000 images or more in RAW and JPEG, plus 5.5K 60p and in-camera RAW movie recording can also be recorded with virtually no restrictions whatsoever. Now, let's have a look at some of the video features. I know Peter McKinnon is most probably going to wet his pants with the features that have been jam-packed into this camera, and I'm personally dying to see what he manages to do with the new 1DX3. It is going to look amazing. The 1DX Mark III has 5.5 RAW video recording at frame rates of up to 59.94 frames per second. But the coolest thing is that it's able to record 5.5K RAW on one CFexpress card while simultaneously recording high quality 4K MP4 video on the second CFexpress card at the same time. And the 12-bit depth ensures excellent picture quality, wide dynamic range, and superb tonal reproduction. The video menu is one of the most populated menus on the camera, and there are so many formats to choose from when it comes to shooting video. Thanks to the Digic X image processor, the 1D Mark III offers advanced recording features such as 4K DCI at 59.99, we're going to call it 60 frames a second, cropped and uncropped, 4K UHD at 60 frames per second. Canon log helps to reduce heavy shadows and blown out highlights, delivering movie images with approximately 12 stops of dynamic range. And that's for perfect shadow and highlight detail. There is, however, no autofocus in 5.5K, 4K DCI, or 4K UHD, but focus peaking is available. The autofocus is available in 4K DCI cropped mode. Now, I know Casey over at Camera Conspiracy, he's holding out that cripple hammer, and I'm sure we're all going to have a good laugh with him, or is at him. Anyway, there's not much we can do about it besides learning how to use manual focus. In 1080 mode, there is also no audio for 120 frames per second, and I've never really understood who would want it anyway, because you're not going to use the audio when it's slowed down to 122 frames per second. You don't need audio at 120. It's just my thoughts. At launch, there's also no 24 FPS in 1080. However, this will be available very soon via a firmware update in the near future. So let's keep the trolling and little tantrums to a minimum, shall we? My final conclusion after actually having the camera in my hands and shooting it, it is a beast. And there is nothing on the market that even comes close. Yes, it is insanely expensive at $6,500, but then it is not aimed at everyday users. This is a camera for professionals and, the odd few who like new toys and can afford it, because why not? Once again, this is just my first impression on the camera, and I look forward to getting hands-on with it for a few days in the very near future, once all the fuss is over. Oh yes, before we finish, I just want to say that I was so excited to get my hands on and shoot with this camera that I kind of forgot to shoot any B-roll or any video of me using the camera. So the only thing I'm afraid I have to offer is this picture over here of me holding the camera, just in case there's any doubters out there who may think that I didn't actually have it. I'm sorry, B-roll and all those video and that kind of stuff, that will be coming in the next full review of this video. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you've made it this far, you may as well hit that subscribe button and give it a like, or give it a dislike if you want to. I'm happy. You do you, and I will continue to do me. And I will see you, yes, you, in the next video.